Hi, I'm Abigail. You can call me Abby. But when I hear the words sex and resistance, I think just that. When I hear sex, I think of sex. I think of gender. I think of identification. And when I hear resistance, I think of resistance. I think of not moving forward, not being able to get past something, having resistance towards something. So when I think of sex and resistance, I often think about, how there's a bunch of people in this society, in this world, that have a hard time swallowing the concept of the fact that there are multiple identities that people can go by. With having so many different pronouns and so many different sexes, I think that, there's a lot of people that have a really hard time understanding that. So when I think of sex and resistance, I think of people not understanding that the two can, that sex can be more than just, the small things. My interest in this course is solely based on word of mouth. I really did hear a lot of great things about it this past semester from the kids in my grade that took it. They just talked about it, and they talked about how much they learned and how interesting it was to, have so many different perspectives about a certain thing that's honestly, been really important and really, needing to be talked about as of lately. I'm really excited to be involved in the events that we're going to put on. I think it's really cool that we're going to do something like that. I've never done anything like this outside of a class for a class. As far as my major goes for sex and resistance, I'm an exercise science major, and I want to be a physical therapist. I don't really, but sex and resistance, I don't see a lot of that. The only thing I could really think of is, a lot of people, especially older people from a different time, they prefer male doctors because they think men are just so much more smarter and they know so much more, when actually, the women can be some of the most professional and some of the most advanced people in that field. A show that I think could show a lot of this, I watch a lot of Law and Order, specifically the Special Victims Unit series. I watch a lot of that, and it deals with men and women that are victims of sexual assault, and there's a bunch of characters that can be extremely stereotypical when it talks about, who this happens to. A lot of people think that, only females have this happen to them, but really it's just as likely as a man to get assaulted as it is for a woman. Let's see. In regards to what scares me about the syllabus when I was reading through it, I am really excited about doing that, the event outside of campus, but what's making me a little bit nervous is actually creating it and putting it on. Like I said, I've never done anything like this outside of a class, so I've never had to have this big of a role in something. So that's what I'm a little bit scared about. And I'm also scared about keeping track of all the reading that we have to do. I'm not a big reader at all. I don't spend my free time cracking open a good book and just sitting there and reading it. I can't pay attention for that long. I can't focus for that long, to read 70 pages of a book. I can't do it unless it was something that I'm really interested in. I just can't sit down and do it. But yeah.